Episode 73 hourly podcast. I'm on After the Duo Eds alongside my co-host, my brother, my brethren, Ethan. It's currently 5:28 Saturday, the 29th of June. Switzerland are playing Italy now. So, all right, cool. I mentioned the Euros earlier. What's your thoughts been on the Euros? The group stage started off electric. Turkey game was who did they play? Who was it against again? That first game, Turkey versus
Turkey played Georgia first game.
and that was an electric game. It was one of the best games I've seen ever. What
Yeah.
was your thoughts on it? And then not only that, like the tournament thus far, what's your thoughts been on the tournament?
Yeah, that game was amazing. That seemed like a proper back and forth. They
Yeah,
both really wanted to go for it, which makes sense. It was the first opening game for both teams.
yeah,
And yeah, no, Arda Güler had that
amazing
amazing
strike.
goal.
Yeah,
Um, and yeah, no, I really enjoyed that game. And then yeah, also Germany, Scotland, the 5
yeah,
1. We were like, oh, this Euros could be juicy. It could be many goals, and it hasn't really gone that way. To be fair, I've been really disappointed in some of the games that I've
yeah,
watched. Obviously, we'll probably talk about England later on, but yeah, England have been very disappointed. So I've not really got into the proper mood to watch some of the games that are on TV currently. So
yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's been a bit disappointing.
That's the same with me. Like I'm watching it just because the game's on. Like, do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? But I've not been like excited to like
yeah,
watch the game. Like the Turkey game, I was like, okay, cool. Germany game, I'm like, oh wow, okay, this they're balling out. Kai Havertz, Jamal Musiala, whatever. Then, like you said, England, Belgium as well, man. What a day on,
yeah,
bruv. Like,
yeah,
like Lukaku, just hold your run a bit. Do you know what I mean? Like he could have been like top goal scorer at the moment in time
yeah,
if he just, you know what
yeah,
I mean, just hold his run a bit. Obviously KDB does what he does, but you can see that this Belgian team, they're on their last legs. They're coming towards the
yeah,
end.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like I was just, yeah, just been Spain have been interesting to watch as well. They've got the exciting
yeah,
wingers and
yeah. I would
stuff.
say so.
France haven't been as exciting as I thought they would be. Italy are Italy. Switzerland, fair play to them. They've been playing some good ball. You know what I mean? They're playing ball
Yeah,
now. But they've with Switzerland, you know what it is though? Like I feel like they just got a screamer now. Really good goal. With Switzerland, I feel like they haven't got star-studded team, but they just always play good football though. Like, do you know
yeah,
what I mean? They've just got like
yeah.
professionals all around the continent playing ball. Um, yeah, man, I
That's
don't know.
similar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go on, go on.
that's similar to Austria at the moment. They've got
Yes.
very solid players that are well rounded, and it seems like a sort of team chemistry also
Yeah.
there. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's one of those tournaments you don't know what you're going to get, but um, yeah, hopefully it starts kicking into gear in these next few rounds because we're expecting some of these big teams to sort of pull out the stops. Really,
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking about England, you said England's been disappointing. What have you obviously a lot of the players and like the media coverage has been somewhat negative. Now, I will say, after the first result when we won 1-0, I thought to myself, okay, this is a bit negative. Like we won the game. Was it the prettiest game? No, but life's not always pretty. It's about getting the
yeah.
win. We got the 3 points on the board, however it goes, right? And then since then, it's just been like negative, negative, negative. Like, do you feel like it's been a bit too negative, or do you feel like it's been fair?
What the media
Yeah,
coverage?
media coverage of England, like his performances and stuff. Like, because after the first
Um,
one, I think me personally, I think the first after the first game was like it was a bit dull. Like, just be happy we got the win, innit? Do you know what I mean? The other
yeah,
two games, cool, fair, I get it. Do you know what I mean? But the
yeah.
first, like, to me, I just feel like they, I don't know what it is, and maybe this is why a lot of people don't like English media. Just, I feel like they want England not to do well. I feel like the media, not the pundits. I'm just talking like general media outlets they want England not to perform well, so they have a reason to complain and stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching, but that's just how I feel.
Yeah, sometimes we forget some of these sort of journalists and stuff are fans of England football, so
Yeah,
they're going to be highly critical, and yeah, they're fans. But to be fair, the Denmark game was when it sort of turned up. I think the sort of negative approach to what England have been doing. To be fair, and it was well deserved. I think the sort of negative comments of how we're sitting back against teams like Slovenia, Denmark, Serbia and we're not easing through the group. It's fully deserved because they haven't been playing good with this
mm,
group of players that we see week in week out in the top leagues are not that they've not turned up. So I don't really like the sort of comments that Rice and Harry Kane have sort of made to try and say, well, you guys should be supporting us. I feel like they have been they've been very supportive. They're just they're trying to put their sort of England caps on for the fans and sort of ask the questions, what's happening? Why aren't we gelling? Why isn't Foden playing in the number 10 role? Why is Bellingham the only one that's pressing? It's just certain questions that have been asked, and maybe we'll find that out in the next game. But I don't think they're being too negative. Been, I think it's been deserved because we expect a bit more. We expect a bit more from the performances that have happened. Really,
Fairs. What's different about this tournament though? World Cup was what, year and a half ago. Euros
yeah,
before that went to the final. Like I felt like just the vibe and I say the country. I'm only in London. The vibe in London was a bit more upbeat for those previous two tournaments, and this one is a bit like, I don't know. And same with like what's really changed. Like if anything, each player has gotten better, and they're
yeah.
not old boys. They're still Harry's still in his 20s, no?
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe 30,
No,
31. Remember,
I
like
think he's 30. I think he's 30. Yeah,
yeah, but
30.
he's still in his prime. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like his name's not lacked on pace. Bellingham's older, better. Foden's older, better. Saka's older, better. We got Gahey. Obviously, we're missing Maguire. Like, say what you want about him. The guy performs in the England shirt.
yeah.
We didn't take a natural left back. So you know what I'm saying? That's maybe those little intricate details, those nuances do change the thing. But what's different about this particular tournament? Do you think?
Um, I think this is where I say the media may have had a sort of impact. Is the sort of maybe the pressure going into this one.
Yeah,
I think I know we, as England fans, always expect. We always think, oh, it's coming home. It's coming home. I think this is the actual one that England fans have really got up to and think this is the one that's coming home.
yeah.
Like we have the best team that we've had in a long time. We've had Foden, who's had an amazing year. We've had Jude, that's won the Champions League with Real Madrid. We've got Harry Kane, who's scored in 40 odd goals in
For fun,
Bundesliga.
for fun.
John Stones, who's been amazing for Man City. So I think we've looked at the sort of players that we have and think, oh, we could actually win it this year. And that's probably impacted the players in a way. And I think they're fed into that sort of pressure. And yeah, maybe that's why we don't
So do
see
you
the
think the
sort
pressure's
of
gotten
team
to the
cohesion.
players there? Do you think so? Do you think the pressure's
Yeah,
gotten to
yeah,
them?
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. By seeing some of these sort of interviews that have come out recently,
Yeah.
you can see some sort of nervousness
Yeah. Yeah.
around them. Even
Yeah.
Declan Rice, one of the most composed sort of people out there, that's usually quite cheerful and quite upbeat.
Yeah.
That sort of ITV interview was a real like insight, and they're very affected by what the media is saying at the moment. They need to block it out and just get on with the game, man.
I hear that. Is it a case of, do you think, like, because this is the thing, they've probably got, I know, they got the family camp, the wives, the girlfriends, the parents, the mates,
Yeah,
the brothers, whatever. Like, obviously, they're probably speaking to them and they're probably saying, oh, well, so and so said this. So, like, even if let's
yeah,
say they deleted the IGs, Twitter, whatever, like, your girl might be like, oh, so and so said this, like,
yeah,
like, do you know what I mean? Or your mom, your
yeah.
dad, like, do you know what I mean? So it is, I think, from that standpoint, it may be hard to block out. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. Speaking on, like you said, this England squad, because it is a good, we are and the thing is, yeah, it's not just an English bias. We're saying that England are actual contenders. When I listen to pundits from other countries, they've all said you have to watch out for England because on paper, England's got talented team top to bottom.
yeah,
Do you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like we're not just being English bias here. It's facts though. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you know me, I'm very much a like humble, like England, like relaxed type of guy. But this is the one tournament I thought, no,
yeah.
England can actually like do it. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Like, other than France, like England before, I thought England could actually do it. Now Spain have been impressive. Do you know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
Germany as well have been more impressive. But I'm saying that all to say, like, do you think Gareth knows his best starting 11?
No. I feel like the
Where,
friendly
where,
games could have been.
where's the bit? Do you think? Because me personally, just looking from it, sorry to cut you, bro. I think the midfield is where he's struggling the most. Is it? Would you agree? Disagree?
Yeah, we can see by the 3 games that we've sort of watched is that, I mean, Trent was an experiment. He should have experimented maybe earlier on, like I say, in the sort of friendly games. He should have sort of experimented. And also, if you're trying to play Trent in that midfield role, get this guy on the ball and make him make passes. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
it doesn't seem like Declan Rice is shifting it off to Trent and trying. We're not even trying those in behind balls. I know Kane isn't going to sort of make those in behind runs, but sort of Jude and Foden could be doing that, or Saka.
Saka. Yeah,
And we're not. We hadn't seen that in those sort of 2 games that Trent started. Gallagher in that sort of 3rd game against Slovenia wasn't good enough. He wasn't given his usual performance that he does for Chelsea, where he's high energy and sort of closing down the ball. So yeah, that whole midfield is just a mess at the moment, and I think Kobe is the one that should be starting at this moment in time,
yeah.
just to sort of compose and calm it down, and just to tick the ball off to either Declan Rice or Foden in that number 10, or Jude in that number 10, whoever is playing in that 10 position, which is also another area that's sort of a problem at this moment
Yeah.
in time. So, yeah, he doesn't know his first 11 at this moment in time. And that's a bit worrying going into the last 16 games.
I'm saying all that because, like, just me looking, I'm thinking, okay, so these guys do it week in, week out in the Premier. But obviously, it's something's changed in this tournament, so it
Yeah.
must be coming from the gaffer. But they just don't want to say it. Obviously, you don't want to put your gaffer out there, innit? Which
Yeah.
which is fair. I'm thinking, all right, cool. I mean, Kane's dropping a bit too deep. If I'm them, I'm saying you just stay up there, bruv.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've got legs. We've got legs in the midfield. That's one thing England have in the midfield and on the flank. We've got legs. So it's a case of I'm saying if you start Mainu, Declan Rice, and then if you do like a diamond, let's say you play a 4-3-3, yeah. And if you're doing a diamond, Mainu, Rice, and Jude, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? That's what I
Yeah.
would personally do that. Or if you don't want to start Mainu, you'd have to do Jude, Rice, Foden playing the 10, and then you'd put Gordon on the left, Saka on the right, Kane up top. But Kane has to
Yeah.
stay up there. Sometimes when
Yeah.
you see it, he's as far back as the defensive mid because he
Mm,
he wants to get the ball and pass it, but it's not that type of football being
no.
played in this tournament. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
Foden on the left looked like he's struck. He just doesn't look
He's
comfortable
not.
playing on the left.
Yeah. He's not a
What's your
left. He's
thoughts on
not a
that?
left wing. Yeah, he's not a left winger. We need a proper winger out there, and like you said, I think Gordon needs to start the next game. Yeah, we need a proper winger, proper wingers out there, really, and Foden isn't doing that.
I think he could even try to do two up top, like because you saw the first. Was it the first or the second game? The one when I think it might have been the second game. Ollie
Yeah,
Watkins came in like
yeah,
60th minute or so, wherever he came on, and it just stretched the game because he's got
yeah,
legs and he wants the through ball. He wants the pass cut through the passing lanes, and you just saw defenders weren't comfortable with it. Do you know what I mean?
mm,
Like because when Kane's dropping in deep, it's making the defender's life easier. Like he needs to
yeah.
be in and around the box. So potentially he could start two up top, or maybe I would say drop Kane, but he can't drop Kane, can he?
No, he can't drop Kane. He
Because if
can't
he
drop
drops Kane, he's gonna hit, he won't hear it down. You know what
Kane.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, Luke Shaw, do you think he'll be fit for next game or not?
You can't test him out now in the last 16 games. I know Kieran Trippier has an injury, which doesn't look good. I think he's got a calf injury. So they said Konsa could be playing as a left back in the
Your
game
boy
against
Chelsea, is he injured or what?
yeah,
Ben,
Ben Chilwell. Yeah, just didn't get selected. I know the sort of. He played a few friendly games and also the qualifier games. He wasn't performing, but he's a left back.
he's a left back.
He'll give us a sort of. Yeah, he'll give us that sort of run that Trippier isn't doing, that sort of overlapping run
Yeah.
where Foden is looking for someone and he's got to check it back to Trippier. It's just, Yeah, it's very negative at the moment. And I do want to see a different performance tomorrow. I think a lot of England fans want to see a different performance.
Do you know who I think's been England's like one of England's best players? Mark Gahey.
Yeah, but
I've,
I will say, sorry for cutting you off, but I will say is that the sort of tackles and challenges that he has made have been after he's made an error.
yeah.
He's had to make up for it. So, yeah, he needs to stop making these sort of stupid mistakes and just sort of, yeah, be a bit more composed on the ball.
Luckily for us, he's fast for days.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like there was one, I
yeah,
can't remember what game it was. He made a error and it was far, and the guy had like maybe 5-10 yards on him, and he
yeah,
caught up to him and tackled him. I was just like,
yeah,
oh wow, okay, so this is peak athleticism here, and this
mm,
is where the game is shifting. You need to be an athlete first, footballer second, in my
yeah,
opinion. Um, moving on from England. Actually, no, one last thing on England. One thing I've noticed with Thing, yeah. He did it in the game when he took off Trent like the 55th minute or whatever. And I'm always onto this because you know I always say this about Arteta. Make subs earlier, man. Don't feel if the game's not going the way, just make it the sub, bro.
yeah,
Like Ollie
yeah,
Watkins, like if the game's not going well, bring on Ollie. What 50th minute? Fuck it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like just
yeah.
do it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Gordon, like I know you want to play forward, like, but like unless these guys are interchanging with one another, which they're not been doing, like just bring on like Gordon, like because he's gonna stretch it. I think this is
Which
go on.
Yeah, yeah, no, that was the sort of disappointing thing of the Slovenia game. We were through already. I know we wanted to top the group, but that was the sort of moment where he could have experimented and he could have played part. He could have started Palmer. He could have started Gordon. He could have started Foden in that number 10 role to sort of show the fans that look, he's playing in the number 10 role. If it doesn't work, this is the reason why he's not been
Yeah, get
playing
off
in
my
that
back.
number
Get
10.
off my
Yeah, get
back.
off my back. But Southgate didn't. Southgate didn't, and he's sort of getting a lot of criticism, and like I said, well deserved because he's not doing the sort of things that you would do with this crop of players.
Yeah,
He should be playing them in their positions or giving these guys minutes, and he's not doing it. So yeah, hopefully he does listen to the
yeah.
fans, or he somehow finds a way to sort of gel this team that he's starting currently. But I can't see it. I can't see it with the sort of team that he's selecting in those first 3 games.
Yeah. You know what? One last thing, England, because you just mentioned his name and I forgot about him. Cole Palmer. I know it was only 25 minutes, but that was the best 25 minutes of any attacking player I've seen in the English shirt this tournament. That guy makes stuff happen. He
Yeah,
needs to, and everyone knows I'm an Arsenal guy. You can see the thing in the background, but you got to drop Saka, in my personal opinion. And Palmer has to start on the right, and then you could bring on Saka, maybe coming off the bench because he's faster.
yeah,
Um, and I want to say open play, possibly a bit more of a goal threat, but Palmer's more creative, and you just see like guys are like on their toes when he's there. He's like, "Oh my god, like what do I do?" He looks like he scares defenders. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah,
he's
yeah,
got that creativeness to him that
yeah.
just the Saka doesn't have because he's kind of been taken out of his game. It's just
Mm,
more direct, cutting in on the left, bang. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? All right, cool. How, what players have impressed you this tournament that you've been like, oh wow, I didn't expect that of your game, or maybe you knew of them, or because obviously, like, we're not watching all the leagues, you know what I'm saying? Like, no one has
Yeah,
time to watch all the leagues unless you do it for a job. But
yeah.
you've seen this guy, and you're like, oh wow, okay, you're balling. Like, you may get a move this summer. Like, who's
Yeah.
been a player for you?
Um, you know, I've been very surprised with Cucurella. I think for
Yes,
Spain he's been unbelievable.
that's your guy.
He's been very high intensity. He's been connecting with a lot of the wingers in the game, and yeah, he's been playing really composed football, which I've been very impressed. So hopefully he can sort of transfer this into Chelsea next season. So yeah, I don't think he'll get a move, but I think he'll. I think he might be impressive next season for Chelsea. Nico Williams also for
Oh, I was just
Spain
about to say him. Yep, love him.
has been. I mean, I saw him at the World Cup and I was impressed with him then. But yeah, I think he's taken his game to another level and would love Chelsea to sort of hit that release clause. But I don't think they will. I think it's only 58 million anyway, and that seems like a bargain at this moment in time. But yeah, no, he was impressive in that Italy game, especially. And then I would say the Georgia striker, I can't pronounce his
I
name.
know the
I
one you're
think
talking about, the one that looks like a roadman. That one, innit?
yeah. And he's been coming out with some celebrations,
Yeah,
which have been crazy. But yeah, he was currently. I think he went to Ajax. It didn't work
yeah,
out.
yeah. Then went back to his
Um,
team. Yeah,
yeah, he went back to Mets, I think it was. And yeah, he's a very good player. Currently the highest goal scorer in the tournament, with 3 goals, I think. And yeah, he's been impressive. So yeah, those 3 players have been impressive to me in this tournament.
and on the flip side, who have you seen and you've been lackluster, mate? What's going on here?
Everyone in the England team. um, Jude, I think that
I think he's
first game.
knackered.
Yeah, he's knackered. But why is he playing Why is he playing every game till 90 minutes? Why is he not getting subbed? He
That's
plays
what I was saying with the
every.
gaffer.
This
The gaffer needs to like do you know what I mean? Like we've got a deep squad, man. Like mix and match. You know what I'm saying?
mix it, yeah. This is it. So yeah, I've been disappointed with him, but yeah, and I think he needs to turn it up next game, and I hopefully he does. Who else? Yeah, not really. I think all the top teams have been okay, and I think they will come good. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like a lot of big teams have been keeping everything sort of hush hush, and I think they will turn it up in the
Yeah,
next few games. I hope so. Anyway.
yeah. All right, cool. Chelsea transfers. I wanted to talk about Chelsea. You lot are gonna sign the Aston Villa player. What is it? 19? Was it for 19 million or 39 million? Come on, I saw 9 at
Yeah,
the back of
19.
it.
It's 19 million. Yeah,
What position does he play again?
he plays as a winger, but can play as a striker also. But yeah, this was more of a financial fair play type of thing, which we've done. I think it was Ian Matson who's gone off to Aston Villa. I
Big
think it
money.
was all. Yeah, it was sort of a business. It was a business sort of transaction because Aston Villa are struggling with financial fair play. Everton are struggling with financial fair play, and Chelsea are
Yeah.
struggling with financial fair play. So I think there's been a lot of going back and forth, and also yeah, no, I think he's meant to be a very good player at academy level, but
Another youngster
let's
though.
yeah, another youngster from Aston Villa. We had Chukwuemeka, who I want to see a lot this season, but we'll have to see. But yeah, I don't know much about this Omari Kellerman.
How do you feel about Ian Matson like being sold though?
Disappointed he never got a chance under Poch, but yeah, happy to see him to go to another Premier League team, and I reckon Aston Villa will get the most out of him. Really.
Yeah, yeah, they're doing well with their squad. They're doing well with their squad. Um, all right, cool, man. I want to quickly talk about some NBA before we do the nation's best thing start bench drop. The Celtics win their 18th title. And to be honest, going into the finals, I knew they was gonna win. Like
Yeah.
their squad was just no. I mean, the Mavs were no match for those guys. Um, but their team, like obviously, there's a new CBA which makes it very difficult to keep the whole team. But what thoughts on them? Obviously, like Jalen Brown, Jason Tatum. I think we've both said in the past like they should have separated them. We didn't think they'd be able to get it done. Fair play, they managed to get it done. Uh, your thoughts on that team? Do you think they could repeat?
Yeah. Who's saying they can't? Because that team does every it's an all-rounded team. They've got players that can come on and do a job.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, it's surprised at how well Jalen Brown did in that sort of
he balled out,
finals.
man.
Yeah, in every game he was impressive. In every game he was very impressive. Jason Tatum's getting a lot of flack. I think he's getting a lot of stick because of, I mean, all the memes of him copying certain quotes out there. And yeah, to be fair, he should do whatever he wants to do. He's a champion now. He
Yeah,
deserved that. He's been amazing since his rookie year.
yeah.
So yeah, you've got to give him his flowers. And yeah, I don't know with Boston. They potentially could be back in the finals again. They've got a good coach. Um, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see how the sort of NBA sets up next season.
Yeah, because a lot of people are saying the East was injured. Like, Embiid is injured, Giannis was injured. I personally think a season under the belt, a full training camp summer, Damian Lillard, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Chris Middleton, is he still up to it? Don't think
No.
so. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Lopez, he's a good center, but I feel like they need to do a few changes on their squad and they could be contenders.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you're saying, that Boston team's tough, man. They got everyone that can shoot, everyone that can play on the perimeter, and everyone that can make threes. You know what I'm saying? Like your whole
Yeah.
starting lineup. That's tough, man. The Mavericks though, I was disappointed in them, but at the same time, who Luka though going up against was tough. But Luka
Yeah.
Doncic, he needs to start playing better defense, man. He needs to
Yeah.
start playing better
Yeah.
defense. And what I'm gonna say is harsh, but it's the truth. He needs to get in shape. Like he actually needs to get in shape.
I think a lot of people would agree as well. I think I don't know. It's a difficult one because he offers so much going forward.
How better
And
would he
and
be?
I know he would be amazing, but I don't think that is his game. I don't think he is a defensive player. I don't think he'll ever be a defensive player. And he'll still keep on doing the same things that he's doing. I think he's got to an age where no one can tell him anything. I think he's got so many sort of plaudits and everyone coming out saying he's the best white guy ever to play in the NBA. But
That's a bit
yeah,
disrespectful.
I know
Larry
disrespectful
Bird,
to Larry Bird and the
Dirk,
Joker, Dirk
Jokic.
as well.
You know what
But
I mean?
some people say
Jerry
it.
West, may he rest in peace.
Yeah.
Like,
So, but this is it. He's up with those sort of players, and if
yeah.
someone come to tell him now, you need to get into shape to win that championship, I don't think he would. To be fair.
Same as Embiid, isn't it? Like people have been telling
Yeah.
Embiid for years get in shape, but is
Mm.
he gonna get into shape? I don't know. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's
As for
it.
the Lakers, but in terms of Luka, how does he improve? Is it just mainly defense? He has to try harder in defense. Do you think?
Yeah, he obviously needs a good team around him. None of us at the start of this season would have put
No,
Dallas Mavericks up there
no.
to go to the finals. To see they've achieved a lot, and you've got to give both Kyrie and Doncic their flowers. Even all the other players at Dallas Mavericks, their flowers to sort of be in that position of the finals. But yeah, he needs a better team. He needs better players around him to sort of want to go on and win the championship at Dallas.
Yeah, I think Kyrie played well in the playoffs, but then got to the finals. They've just got so much guys that can throw a defense on him, and
Yeah.
and as great as he is, he's only what 6'2", 6'3". Like, come on, man.
Mm.
You got Derek White, Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown, Tate. I'm like, it's tough. It's tough.
Mm.
The Knicks trade for Mikal Bridges, someone who I've always liked. Now they've got. Imagine being on a team with your 4 college teammates in the NBA. That's nuts, man.
Mm.
That's crazy. They gave up a lot of picks though, but
Yeah.
does this make them contenders in the East? It depends now. It depends how they're gonna structure the team because they re-signed OG Anunoby, and they've got a decision to make with their center. Like they now have to think to themselves, okay, are we gonna copy what the Celtics did and we're gonna play 5 out? And if that's the case, Julius Randle's got to play the 5. And not only does he have to play the 5, he has to change his game to accept that, okay, I'm not going to get as many shots as I once did. But in order for us to truly, if I really want to win, because here's the thing, guys have egos, they're making a lot of money. And the amount of points you score, whatever equates to how much you're going to get paid. Remember, at the end of the day, it's a job for these guys. Am I willing to lessen myself for the team and we have a potential to win, or am I about my stats? And that's the conundrum they're gonna have to face, with the Knicks. And if he goes to the 5, that could be a tough team. But again, health with them as well because he's been injured.
Yeah.
OG's always in. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, I feel like the East is gonna be scary. And then my Sixers as well. Free agency, there's a hype about Paul George, but I'm not too sure if I want Paul George, man. The guy's like, what, 33, 34? And I love Paul George. I think he's great, but I'd much rather us do get a KCP and a Miles Bridges and then fill out the team as well, something like that. Or maybe do a trade for a guy. I'm not too sure. Your New Orleans Pelicans traded for Dejounte Marry. Gave up a lot of picks for them. So obviously the Dejounte Marry, Trae Young experiment didn't last long in Atlanta. But with your team, obviously they're talking about they may be trading Brandon Ingram. How would you feel about that? Would you like that trade, or would you think like run it back for another year, see how these guys do?
Yeah, I think you've got to give Brandon Ingram another year. And he is a New Orleans Pelicans front man. Like
Tough.
Zion isn't that guy really. He barely plays the whole season. So yeah, Brandon Ingram is the face of New Orleans Pelicans at this moment in time. So to get rid of him, I think a lot of the fans would be very disappointed and really upset with the franchise.
Yeah. All right, cool. Last couple things on basketball. A lot of people are saying this wasn't a good draft. Yeah, the Sixers drafted this guy from Duke. Yeah, Ethan, I don't like him already, bruv. Yeah, because like he's just doing too much
Nah.
TikToks dancing. He looks like a good player. Oh my gosh, Switzerland just scored again. Wow, they are balling. They are balling. Um, it's not that I don't like him. I just seen like this guy's irritated. He's doing dances all over the place. It's like, brother, like allow it, man. But I get it. It's this younger generation, isn't it? He's like 18, 19. You know what I mean? But yeah, man.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm behind. I'm watching it on my phone. I'm watching it on iPlayer.
Yeah, he scored a screamer. They scored two really good goals. And then Bronny James drafted to the Lakers. To me, this makes LeBron James the greatest of all time because it's like I came in the league, I did what I did, and now I got my son drafted, and I'm playing with my son in the Lakers. Like, I don't know what else LeBron would need to do. Like in terms of sports for me, I think LeBron is now the GOAT. That's just my opinion, broski.